Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to work on the heavy club two-hand pullover step back lunge. Heavy club swinging is how people through all of human history used to develop strength and endurance for athletics and for warfare and for basically everything related to health. Think of it as Neolithic Olympic lifting. All the movements that you perform with heavy clubs directly translate to some type of athletic movement. All heavy club swinging will improve sports performance in some way. The thing that heavy club swinging does better than any other type of training is help people learn to effectively rotate and help people learn to cast better. Think of casting patterns as the root of throwing patterns. Also, heavy club swinging is all about weightlifting endurance. Think of it as using intermediate weights for intermediate periods of time. So it differs from something like barbell, where you're moving a heavy weight usually in a straight line, or kettlebell lifting, where you're moving kind of a medium weight in a curvilinear line. When you're using a heavy club, you're using intermediate weights that are an intermediate length lever. Think about the distance from your hand to your shoulder, and you are applying all of that movement directly to rotation. In this video, we're going to talk about the step back lunge. Oftentimes when we learn lunge patterns, we work on step back lunges first. The reason we work on a step back lunge instead of a step forward lunge is because the foot. When we are doing a step back lunge, we can put our base foot pointed straight ahead and it's not moving, so we can focus on driving up through this leg with this foot in the correct position. If you are a well-trained athlete, this might not be necessary, but many people who live in the modern world have problems with their ankles, their knees, and their hips. Many people in the modern world are turned out. Their ankles are collapsed, the arches of their foot are collapsed, and when they do step forward lunges, they tend to do really weird stuff with their back foot. That leads to them doing weird stuff with their knee. That leads to them compromising their hip structure. That leads to them compromising their spinal structure. People tend to load that up, and then they tend to cause themselves more harm than they are getting benefit from the exercise. In order to fix that, we focus on learning step back lunges. When we do that step back lunge, we can ensure our base foot is pointed straight ahead. We can step back and control one of the variables very precisely so that athletes get better and stronger instead of causing themselves excess wear and tear. The exercise we're doing today is a combination of two exercises. It is a balanced step back lunge and a two-hand pullover. We're going to review each one quickly and then slam them together and then talk about why we slam them together. In the balanced step back lunge, we step up to our club 2 feet point straight ahead. We start with a dead power clean with the club directly between the insteps of our feet. Thumbs point towards the sky. One thumb is closest to the tip of the club. We pick the weight up. The weight is on the high hand side of the face. Elbow on body. Foot point straight ahead. Step back. Elbow stays on the body the entire time. Drive this hip forward to ensure the crown to coccyx alignment is straight up and straight down. When people make an error in this, they lean forward. The elbow leaves the body and they are no longer driving up effectively. The club lets us know if we are in correct alignment. Stand all the way up. Step back with the other leg. Base foot point straight ahead. Step back, knee on the ground. Drive that hip forward to ensure crown to coccyx alignment. Elbow stays on the body throughout the range of the movement. With the two-handed pullover, the starting position is the same. Elbow starts on the body. Arm is at a 90-degree angle. The barrel of the club goes directly past the same side ear. Same side ear. Elbow returns down to touch the body each time. The club is not passing over the center line of our head. The club is passing past our ear on the side of our head. So the club is moving in a straight line from in front of our body straight back past our ear. Our elbow is not flaring out at the top. Squeeze your elbow towards the center line of your head so you can pull your elbow straight down. This helps people line up their spine, engage their lat to engage their core. Every heavy club exercise is a core exercise, every single one. When we take those two exercises and we slam them together, it helps us get better at the bottom of the lunge, and it helps us get better at standing up in between reps. 2 feet point straight ahead, feet are directly underneath us because we're doing a stepping pattern. It's just like walking. If our feet are wider or turned out, we're not learning to walk better. Thumbs point towards the sky, stack your hands on top of each other, pick the weight up. Heavy club will pass past the same side ear. Behind the head, pull over. Step back with one leg. Elbow stays on hip the entire time. Stand all the way up. Club goes past the same side ear. Step back with the opposite leg. Knee touches down. Drive the hip forward. Squeeze the glute. Stand all the way up. Behind the head. Pull over. Elbow touches hip. Touch knee to the ground. Elbow is still on hip. Stand all the way up. Behind the head. Pull over. Back with the same side leg. This is a simple exercise combining two basic club exercises together, the balanced step back lunge and the two-handed pullover. The balanced step back lunge helps people get better at aligning their spine in the lunge. We step back instead of forward because many people do not have control of their feet when they step forward. If they are turning out, we don't do step forward lunges for quite a while. We focus on step back lunges. If people play sports, they will do step forward lunges in their sport. They will do that in footwork for their sport. When we are training, we want to make sure we are training the ankle, the knee, and the hip in the strongest way possible. By adding the pullover to the top, we are essentially adding a standing sit-up to the exercise. When the club goes behind the head, the rib cage is driven down. This is a crunch. This is an abdominal exercise. If you let go, arch the back, and the rib cage comes up, you have given up on it. You will notice your back hurts. Squeeze your glutes at the top, drive the rib cage down, hold it the entire time, pull over. Every club exercise is a core exercise. Every time the club passes behind your head, the club is trying to pull your body apart. You are learning to resist extension of the spine. Many people, when they go to the gym, step back in a lunge. They are not going all the way down. Their spine is deviated. This club exercise helps people learn to get all the way down, keep their spine upright, and at the top to finish the movement. It is very hard to do the pullover part if you have not stood all the way up. So this exercise helps people learn to go all the way down, put their spine in the right spot, and stand all the way up at the top while engaging their core the entire time. Your core should always be engaged. That's its job. Its job is to always be on, to transition power from the legs to the hands, and to hold your body upright. If you have a weak core, just consider that generally not good, and it's something that you can easily work on by working on any heavy club swinging program. The better your core fires, the straighter up and down you are, the less pain people tend to be in, the better the athletic performance they tend to have. Grab a heavy club, get into an organized program that starts with simple movements and light weights and builds to heavy weights and complex movements over time. Think of it as Olympic lifting that can be done absolutely anywhere, that focuses on the most important human movements.